Let me enter into today's satsang. 171st Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, 4th chapter, 9th verse. The subject: what is karma cycle? Please understand, I am reading the sutra. Jati, desa, kala, vyavahitanam, api antaryam, smruti sanskarayoho, eka rupatvat. Swami Satchidananda translates as, although desires are separated from their fulfillments by class, space and time, they have an uninterrupted relationship because the impressions of desires and memories of them are identical. Swami Prabhavananda translates as, because of our memory of past tendencies, the chain of cause and effect is not broken by the change of space or time. Swami Satchidananda translates as, although desires are separated from their fulfillments by class, space and time, they have an uninterrupted relationship because the impressions of desires and memories of them are identical. Bhagavan Osho translates as, because memories and impressions retain the same form, the relationship of cause and effect continues even though separated by class, locality and time. I can say another one big breakthrough Patanjali gives through the sutra. Let me give you the basic understanding, then I lead you to step by step each sacred secret on the sutra. First thing you need to understand through the sutra is memory and the experience you go through during the actual action. For example, you eating certain sweet, or you sitting and visualizing that you are eating certain sweet, both are creating same equivalent effect on your system. First truth. Please understand. There are hundreds of scientific studies now proving this truth. This truth does not need to be believed as a religious concept. No. It is a scientifically proved fact, truth. If you are tasting certain sweet or sitting and visualizing that you are tasting certain sweet, both the action or the memory creates same reaction in your brain. It's really shocking or disturbing, whatever you wanted to say, but this is the case. Many studies, deep, thorough studies prove the action and the impression creates the same reaction in your brain. It's a very important understanding, because many times we consider the remembrance, memory, fantasizing, visualization as small thing, simple thing. It is not. It is not, I tell you. The second simple plain understanding you need to get from this sutra is whether you are in this body or in this form, or your body is going to change, or you are going to keep your body in a different place, in different time. The cause and effect, the action and impression, this connection is going to continue till you break that. Please understand. For example, you feel suffocated in certain atmosphere, with certain people, at certain time. Patanjali says, time, place, even the very species, please understand, very species, even if these three changes, I'll give you an example. For example, you feel suffocated in your relationship, marriage or family. So you try to change the time. You decide in the future you will not be with those people. But the habit of responding in certain way to certain situations and creating certain situations constantly in your life is going to be your lifestyle. Same way, if you change the place, oh, only in India I am creating the same disturbance for myself. Let me go to some other country. No. Samskaras come with you without having any pack and shift courier organizations. You don't need any pack and shift organization. They just follow you. And the third is a very important revelation. Even if the species changes, means when you were in the fish body, you fought with your partner fish and diverged. Even if you become pig, it is going to continue. Even if you become buffalo, that attitude is going to continue. Even if you become a human being, that habit is going to continue. Maybe when you are in the fish body, you don't need to go to court. You just move away. When you are in the human body, you may need to go to court. Patanjali is very clear, whether it is time. Sometime you think, oh, only with this wife I broke my relationship. In future, next time, I will not do it. No. Time is not going to heal. We have a very wrong understanding. Time is the greatest healer. No. Time can make you forget. It cannot heal. Forgetting the samskara is not healing the samskara. Because anything forgotten is like a sleeping volcano. No, is always dangerous more than dead volcano. Because in dead volcano or alive volcano, if it is alive, you know it is alive. But if it is sleeping, you neither know it is alive nor you feel, you at least sometime you feel it may be dead. You think it is dead. It is not. The sleeping volcano is dangerous. Same way, forgotten engram but not may take away the memory. The time you may not constantly remember that engram and suffer in guilt. That does not mean you are out of that problem. Time does not heal. Second, space, place does not heal. Understand? Many people ask me, what is this, Swamiji? In Hindu tradition, we have so many gods, goddesses who are fighting with each other, who go through so many difficult problems, all kinds of disturbances. It's very bad. I tell you, please understand. The Hindu tradition very clearly says, till the ultimate enlightenment, even the Indra, why Indra, including Brahma, comes back again and again, takes more and more births. Understand this. changing time, changing space does not heal. For example, if you are in an ordinary world, in this world, you are fighting for your alcohol and women. If you go to Swarga, Indraloka, because of some good deeds you did, again there also you will be fighting for Somarasa and Ramba, that's all. The fighting is not going to change. In those days, in India, people used to sit on the floor, have a leaf, and eat with the hand. Now, they sit on the dining table, have a plate, eat in spoon. These outer things have changed, but they have to eat only with mouth. That cannot be changed. Same way, in this sloka, he may be fighting for women and alcohol. If he does some good act, he may go to little higher lokas, like Indra Loka, Chandra Loka. But there also, he will be fighting for Somarasa and Ramba. The fighting does not change. That is why I am telling you, till you unclutch and get into that ultimate state of enlightenment, samadhi, you can't rest in peace. You can't feel you achieved something. Through the sutra, Patanjali wants all of us, don't just feel complete or satisfied. Some Indraloka, Chandraloka and all. The ultimate truth is unclutch till the last engram is. Unclutch till the last engram. Let's get into the sutra little more detailed way. Understanding of the sutra will lead to a clarification on many questions and doubts you carry. Please understand. Whether it is related to wealth or infrastructure or the knowledge, whatever you are carrying, be very clear, it is not going to be lost till you unclutch. So from this, one good side is, you don't need to be afraid. If you are a rich man in this Janma, you don't need to be afraid. Next Janma, will I become poor fellow? Will I be born as poor guy? No, don't worry. If you are rich now, you are going to be rich next Janma also. You may think, no, I have done many sins. I swindled many persons' wealth. So maybe as a punishment, I will be born as a poor fellow next time. No. You will be born as a rich person, and all the tortures and sufferings, punishment related to rich man, you will go through. Understand? So one good side is, you will not be losing many things which you are having. Good things. One bad side is, the same mental setup with which you are suffering now, you are going to be suffering then also. Only if you go through this again and again and again and tired, bored, oh God, how many times the same fight? How many times the same tiredness? Very beautiful description from one of the great Siddha, Pulippani, in his poems. I am just sitting and going through some of the Pulippani's writings. If you have read my biography, you know that I am fortunate to take birth in the same family of Pulippani, one of the great enlightened master. He says very beautifully how the human mind works. First, you take birth, you catch some people. Hey, she's my wife, he is my son, he is my brother, he is my daughter, she is my sister. You catch few people around you and you keep them all around you and play some games. My daughter should behave like this. My father should behave like this. My son should behave like this. My brother should behave like this. Sometimes they behave as you want. Then you say, play is going good, great. Sometimes they don't play as you want. Then you say, oh, life is sad, it is too bad. And you catch some place, land. This is my land. This is my boundary. All this goes on. Suddenly one day you die. And then again you take birth and catch some people. She is my mother, she is my father, she is my brother, she is my sister. I am this, I am this. I am committed to these people. They are committed to me this way. All this you create. And then, and you catch some place and everything. Up when you start the play again, suddenly Yama comes and takes you away. You are dead. And once more, start the game. Understand, if you are intelligent enough to live in this birth, commitment-free life, I can say, at least you are 100 birth senior to any person who lives committed life. Please understand. Maturity of the soul is dependent on how your inner space is free from commitments. Please understand. I am not talking about the divorces you do because of the hatred with each other, fight with each other. No. From the beginning, the conscious clarity you have about commitment. Ramakrishna says very beautifully, a failed sannyasi is 100 times more than a successful grihastha. I used to feel, how can this be? Seems to be too fanatic. But nothing can be done. Ramakrishna is not even a sannyasi, he is a grihastha. He lived a very beautiful, amazing, committed life with Sharada Devi. You will be surprised, a pujari who receives 7 rupee salary has made 300 sovereign jewelry for the wife. Please understand, 300 sovereign, not 300 gram. 300 sovereign jewelry. His whole monthly salary is only 7 rupee. And he doesn't even touch that. But he made 300 sovereign jewelry. Still it is there. If you go to Belur Math, you can see in display the big bangles. And not only that, it is not that the money was there in a corner. He told some relative, please go and buy jewelry for Sharada Devi. Or he told Sharada Devi, you buy jewelry and wear. No. He will call the goldsmith and he will give the design. The bangle Sharada Devi is wearing, the goldsmith was asking, this design, I am a 50-year experienced goldsmith. I have never seen this design anywhere in market. How did you design this? Ramakrishna says, no, when I saw Sita Devi in darshan, she was wearing this bangle. When I saw her in the darshan, she was wearing this. So there is a record with a coal piece, the village charcoal piece. He has drawn and made the goldsmith understand and told, make like this. So each jewelry she was wearing, he designed personally. You can't say he is a sannyasi, he lived a perfect grihastha life. But he says very clearly, a failed sannyasi is 100 times better than a successful grihastha. Of course, you can't compare his actions. He is beyond grihastha and sannyas. Through this saying, he means the maturity of the soul which decides from the beginning the futility of the committed relationships and realizes to live in freedom is the highest maturity. It comes at least after 100 beatings, strong beatings you go through with the so-called relationships. Whether it is a wealth or relationships or infrastructure, anything, till you unclutch, till you are out of the connection between the desire and action. Please understand. The connection between the desire and action is too strong, and Patanjali reminds us both of them carry same form. Means till the very seed is burnt in you, even if there is no action, you will go on be attracting the situations which is conducive for action. Situations conducive for action is nothing but delayed action. See, when the situation is too conducive for certain action, simply the action will happen. That is why I am creating a situation conducive for enlightenment. I tell you, nothing else is required. Just somehow manage to be inside. With all the process, simply the action will happen. You see, when there is a conducive action, conducive situation for every day morning, 5 o'clock Suprabhatam goes on, and the Akada is waiting, all your colleagues and teammates are doing, then the Vaidya Sarori is waiting, and Rajya Sabha is waiting, and I am sitting here giving all the possible opportunity for the highest understandings to happen. When there is a conducive atmosphere, simply the action happens. How long you can resist the Akada? How long you can resist Vaidya Sarovar? For 2-3 days you can cheat saying, oh, I have back pain, I have fever. After that, simply it has to happen. Same way, when I am creating an intense heat for enlightenment, how long you can say, I have this, I have that, I have that? It has to catch you. You have to catch it. Whether it is hot or cold or smelly or dirty, somehow if you manage to hold on to the train, you will reach the place. Sometimes it is windy, sometimes it is breezy, sometimes it is little suffocating. Situation, the ambience is very important. If I have to condense in one word the sacred secret from the sutra, is unclutching with perseverance. Unclutching with perseverance. Constantly your mind will give you the desire. Let me change the place. Let me change the situation. Let me change the time. Sometime your mind even says, let me leave this body and take up another one body. The situation will change. No. This sutra very clearly says, suicide is not answer. Neither changing the place nor waiting the time will heal or suicide is answer for life, solution for life, way for enlightenment, way for freedom, way for liberation, way for the ultimate. Understand? When you are having some problem, if you are just free of that problem, you think that's the solution. But you can never be free of any problem, any suffocation, by these three: time, place, or changing your specie. Changing your specie means suicide. All these three is not going to free you, not going to help you. Patanjali is very clear. Let me read out that sutra word by word. Jati means genus, species. Desha, locus, place, space. Kala, time. Vyavahitanam api anantaryam smriti samskarayoho ekarupatvat. Do not try to experience freedom even from simple situations by changing place, time, situation, or your body. Because all these four is not going to stop the connection between your action and memory. If you want liberation from any suffocation, any suffering, the only way is unclutching with tremendous perseverance. Any problem you solve without using this unclutching tremendous perseverance is going to get back to you in much bigger scale. That's it. Nothing else. So I tell you, all solution happens by unclutching with perseverance. If I have to give my life in one line, I can say tremendous perseverance. Whether I was trying to mend my body, or I was trying to mend my mind, or I was trying to mend my disciple's body, or when I tried to mend my disciple's mind. Tremendous perseverance. Actually, I am more persevere means I can say I am having more patience when I mend my disciples' body and mind, disciples' bodies and minds, than my own body and mind. But I can say I learned the perseverance when I mended, when I trained my body and mind. Once, I still very clearly remember 3 people sitting together. One Narayana Swami, a great adept in the science of mantra and hatha yoga, and Kuppammal, Vibhudanandapuri, and Yoganandapuri, Raghupati Yogi, with one Mauna Swami who was sitting in the top of the Arunachala hill for more than 8 years. Those days he was living in the temple. All four of them were sitting, and I was sitting with them. There was some big discussion going on. It's a very strong experience. There was some discussion going on. All four of them were, three were talking because this Mauna Swami doesn't talk, but he was sitting and nodding his head, either acknowledging or disagreeing. This was continuously going on. At one point, the heat of the argument was such, I suddenly said, I know from my experience, this is what is right about something. And all four of them were creating a situation. Oh, do you mean to say you are an incarnation? And thousands of times they only fed that idea into me that I am an incarnation. And I never raised my voice in front of them. I respect them like anything. Why them? Now if you see, when I myself go to the gym and I do some weightlifting and all that, I am going through some proper understanding of the modern day weightlifting, so that I wanted to connect that into the Kundalini awakening and create a new system. So even my trainer, who receives few thousand salary, whatever he says, I do it with utter obedience. The brahmacharis who stand with me, they feel surprised. Sometimes they ask me, whatever he says you do. I said, no, understand. Unless you surrender to some guru, nothing can be achieved. So for that 1 hour, I decide, he is my guru. Nothing can be done. Surrender. Whatever he says, do it. You can't question. If you want to learn, you can't question. When I push you guys to do either yoga or any spiritual routine, how you feel, I know, because when he pushes me. But I decide very clearly, I am surrendering. Even if I miss sometime in the morning, I see that in the evening he comes and I go and complete that routine. With my body and no mind, I can say no body, no mind. When I want to do something, I decide, no. Guru, that's all. Forget about everything else. Surrender, that's the only way anything can be learnt or achieved. So even now, with an ordinary gym trainer, I do this dedicated way. Means how deeply I would have been dedicated. I never raise my voice in front of them. But suddenly that heat, I can say that 4 great souls sitting and raising the heat by some subtle discussions of the deep spiritual truths. That heat is almost like a boiled, and I broke and I said, yes, I am an incarnation. What do you guys mean? It came out such a authentic way, and I felt very clearly something has broken in me, and I am an incarnation. I am just radiating it. See, when I bless, and in hundreds of places when the materializing happens, how I feel very clearly, yes, there is energy expressing, it is saying, it is happening, with a clear, unblacked flow. How I feel, the same way I felt that unblacked flow when I said that. All 4 of them just fell into the silence, deep silence, and they were sitting, I can say at least for half an hour. Nobody spoke. Now I still remember very clearly, after half an hour, I just settled. Now I know I am feeling like a normal man, disciple of all four of them. I still remember Raghupati Yogi broke the silence and said, but you need to live in the normal body and mind and mend. Only this patience can teach you how to train the bodies and minds of the disciples with patience. Yesterday I was revealing a very important truth. Don't work with mind, work with body. I learnt it from my experience. Don't work with mind, work with body. It may look very funny, especially the instructions I gave yesterday. It looked very funny because I said, eat as many times as you can, sleep as long as you can, and do yoga as much as you can, do pranayama as much as you can. You may think, no, I'll eat and sleep a whole 3 months and become obese. No, you can't. You don't know. If it are, and one important condition, vegetarian food and constantly thinking silence. When you think silence, more than a week, you can't sleep more than, I can say, 6 to 8 hours. First 1 week. When you start thinking silence, means infusing silence into your system. You may have the hangover engrams and sleep for 10 hours, 12 hours. But within a week, your body, your system will get to the level you will not be able to sleep more than 6 hours. I tell you. The essence is unclutching with the tremendous perseverance. I'll reveal the deeper and deeper sacred secrets embedded in the sutra. Now, sit in samyama for a few minutes in the deep samadhi of unclutching, the tremendous perseverance, the deep passions decide to unclutch.